guys.
Hi guys. Hi.
Knox wants to say hi. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to do this. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting on the couch here with my notes and my 2-year-old who's crawling on my lap. Real life. This is how it goes. Say hi. Why don't you go find your pants? Go find your pants.
No,
I'm gonna talk to my girls. Okay, guys. So I had posted asking if anybody was interested in learning details about how we kind of do budgets and meal plans and whatnot. And I don't really know the best way to do this, but I'm going to try it, and maybe I'll post another one later on questions or things. Don't shoot, I'm being shot at with Nerf bullets. Stop. Just a couple things that I wanted to share with you. And I just want to be sensitive. Stop, Knox. Go. Go. I don't want you to shoot me. Can you please go? Okay, no more or I'm going to take it away. Look at me. Don't shoot at me again, okay?
I'll shoot the window.
All right, I just want to be sensitive to the fact that everybody does this differently, and just want to share how I'm doing it. And I'm always looking for ways to improve, but maybe it'll be an encouragement to you guys, because I have spent a lot of time, wasted time probably, on YouTube watching other moms with large families try to feed their family and cut costs and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna jot some notes too as I'm thinking about it, and to keep me from going down rabbit trails. The first thing I was gonna mention is our family typically spends, we budget every month $400. I've upped it a little bit, $400 for food and toiletries. I've decided moving forward, I am going to separate out the toiletries now, just so that it makes it easier, especially doing a pantry challenge and keeping track of my receipts and all of that, and trying to stick strictly to the budget. It'll just keep it easier. So that even means separate transactions, like at Walmart or the grocery store or whatever. The first thing that we used to do this faithfully, and I've kind of gotten away from it from month to month, but I'm going to reset and start it again. Today was payday for us, so it's nice and easy when you get paid the first of the month every month. To be able to do this, but you can do it whether you get paid twice a month or every week. But I like to use cash for my groceries, for my toiletries. We use did you see the Nerf bullet fly past the camera? For gas, and what's my other category? I'm drawing eating out is the other one. So there's 4 categories that I usually get cash for. I use the Dave Ramsey app. Every dollar, it is free. Levi has the app and I have the app. So I typically enter the items for the budget each month, and then I'll say, can you look over the budget and make sure I didn't miss anything? I could go into a whole thing on marriage and money and all of that, but this is just what we have found that works, and that way he can look at it and say, well, you know, we're going out of town this weekend, you think we need some extra money for that, or so on and so forth. We can talk through it, but he doesn't like the nitty-gritty details of the budget. So I go in the Every Dollar app, and I enter the estimated income and all the estimated expenses, and it basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Dave Ramsey systems, he encourages you to do a zero-based budget, which means if you make $1,000 in a month, you are allocating your $1,000 to every category until you reach $0. So, you know, you put money into giving, money into savings, money into utilities. You know, it lets you get as detailed as you want with the categories. It gives you this cool little pie chart, and it shows what you've budgeted, what you've spent for the month. You can enter the expenses as you go, and it's super handy for us to keep track of. And I can just log into my app really quick and see this is what we have left in this category for that part of the budget for the month. So that's what we do. We use cash envelopes, and I like the last 3 months I haven't done cash. So we're going back to cash. I'm going to the bank tomorrow to get our cash. I literally get 4 envelopes from the bank, and I put my cash in each envelope. You can do it, you can get cash weekly, you can get cash every other week based on your payday. You can do once a month if you have self-control. For me, I really need to take the money for the month and then just every other week at the beginning of that week, put cash in the envelopes. And then I can see with cash, and I end up spending less if I'm spending with cash than with my debit card. At least I think so. I mean, there's research to show that there's truth to that, but whatever works for you. It makes things simple, super, super simple for us, and it keeps my spending in check. So anyway, oh my goodness, you guys have to check this out. What are you doing? What is on your face?
A sticker.
Okay, just don't stick it up your nose, okay?
I won't.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so a couple of ways that a family of 6 eats on $300 a month, because I know you guys are probably thinking that's not a lot of money. And you're right, it's not a lot. I'm hearing that the national average that you should budget for your family is $100 per person per month. So for us, that would be $600, and we don't have that much money in our monthly budget to spend $600 a month on food. We just can't do that. So $300 a month is typically what we try to shoot for, or what we're I'm now allocating the $300 just toward the groceries and not toward the toiletries. Okay, so ways that we eat off of that. Number one, we get creative. I get really creative. We eat leftovers. And I don't know, if you don't like leftovers, sorry, get over it. I don't know what to tell you. Get creative with them, because you don't have to eat, if you have tacos one night and you end up with a ton of taco meat, you don't have to eat tacos, every night. You can make them into burritos and stick them in the freezer and have them a different week or a different month. Make them into a taco salad the next night. Make burrito bowls, turn it into something different. Make a taco casserole. So it doesn't have to be the same thing, but try your best to just eat the food that you have and not waste. We try really hard to not waste. And if we do have waste, we try to feed it to our chickens. I know you guys probably don't all have chickens, but we just really try not to waste food, and be good stewards of what we bring into the house, which for us means not overbuying on fresh produce. I don't have a pantry. I posted, if you guys look back at the pictures, I posted one picture. I have a Lazy Susan, and I have a pantry cabinet. Not a pantry cabinet. I have a kitchen cupboard. One kitchen cupboard, kind of a second kitchen cupboard that sometimes I put food into, but we don't have a designated pantry. We don't eat a lot of processed foods, so I really don't buy a lot of packaged stuff. Everything pretty much goes into the refrigerator or freezer, so we just try to get very creative and not eat a lot of processed, packaged convenience items. I don't have a lot of convenience items even in my fridge right now. I do have a bag of chicken nuggets, and I've got a couple old pot pies that I bought when my dad was visiting because they were a favorite for him, but it's just convenience items are not a thing that we do. Although my husband wishes that I would. We also don't do a lot of snacks, and call me a mean mom. I offer, if the kid's starving or whatever, I feed him. It's not like I neglect feeding him. Hi. I'm doing a video for the Girls on the Pantry Challenge. Levi just walked in. So I offer fruits, or if they didn't eat their lunch and that's why they're hungry, I will reheat their lunch up. Hey Knox, can you shut the front door, honey? It's 2 degrees out. Sorry, real life. So apples and peanut butter. My kids have been loving ants on a log lately. You know, I let them, a cheese stick, something like that. They've been having hot cocoa and popcorn for snacks lately, but I don't like stock my pantry with snacks. It's kind of like, well, let's see, what can we find? You got to choose something healthy. I mean, it's not like I don't ever bake chocolate chip cookies. I do, but I just don't make a habit of buying, you know, fruit snacks and granola bars and containers, individual containers of yogurt or sugary things.
I make a big ham with
Oh,
my
okay.
hand.
Can you shut that door so that your little legs don't get cold? Thank you. I cook from scratch a lot. It's cheap. It's not always the healthiest because I'm often using all-purpose flour and white sugar and stuff like that, although I've gotten a little more creative with how to cook with, you know, coconut flour and your natural sugars and things like that. But cooking a lot from scratch, like even making, you know, homemade pizza dough, and I have, I made homemade pizza sauce out of the tomatoes in my garden, and I froze it 2 years ago. And the pizza sauce is still in freezer Ziploc bags and it tastes great. So, you know, that's another way I can, so essentially for the cost of one bag of cheese, which I can typically get for under $2, shredded mozzarella cheese for a pizza, I can have a pizza for my family. So cooking from scratch is a great way to save money. Make two, freeze one is a motto that I follow. If I'm browning up a bunch of ground beef or I'm making a lasagna, I don't want to waste anything. So I'd rather buy an extra jar of lasagna and another package of cheese because I know that I'm going to end up with more lasagna noodles, and I'll make one for supper that night, and then I'll put together a second one in like a foil pan that I just get from Dollar Tree. Like I'll get a bunch of them and I stick them in the freezer, and that way I have got another one for the next month. And so I'm using up, instead of wasting the excess of what I would have wasted from the unused food making like a lasagna. I hope that makes sense.
Door's still locked.
It's locked. Well, I want you to shut the big blue door. Can you shut the big blue door? Okay, one thing that I am always looking for is a deal on meats. This is another main reason why we can feed a family of 6 on $300 a month, is because we do buy meat in bulk. If you guys can join a co-op, if you, I know a lot of you on this pantry challenge are farm families, and so it's, I mean, you just have meat in bulk. But one thing that I've been doing lately, and Nicole Royer's been a great friend to exchange food with. She just texted me the other day and said that she had extra jams and applesauce, and I was like, sweet, you want to trade for, you know, I'm out of eggs right now because the chickens hate this cold and they're not laying, but we swapped eggs for beef a couple weeks ago. I was out of ground beef. The weather's been terrible. I didn't want to go all the way to town, and so she lives down the road, so we swapped beef for eggs. So I have another friend who, she had a ton of beef when we had a ton of pork and we hadn't bought our quarter beef yet, and she said, I'll swap you pork for beef. So we swapped, or actually we ended up getting the quarter beef, but those are good options if you've got somebody that you can swap food with. So I know it might sound silly, but get creative in your pantry challenge. I've got a turkey and like 3 hams in my freezer. So if anybody wants ham, I'm willing to let a ham go in exchange for, you know, something else. I don't know. Just get creative. And if you guys have stuff that you want to swap, post them in the comments in the pantry challenge, and, you know, we can, I don't know, we can make it work. I've got a lot of milk in the freezer too. So anyway, buying in bulk helps. So I buy from the store chicken. I buy a lot of fish. We buy like ground turkey. certain cuts of beef, or I can't always get through 6 months worth on our bacon that we get, so I'll buy bacon from the store. So there's things that I do buy that we don't have in our freezer, but you know, it definitely helps when you can buy it up front in bulk. So anyway, just think about that. So going back to these hams that I have. So last year, shopping at Aldi, first of all, is another one. I'll come back to that. Actually, let me start there. If you don't shop at Aldi,